The massive doors of the Galactic Council chamber towered 100 feet high, gleaming with metals unknown to Earth. Science Ambassador Olivia Reed took a deep breath, steadying herself as the delegation of 5 humans prepared to enter humanity's first appearance before the council that governed over 3,000 worlds. The alien escort, a tall being with deep purple skin and 4 arms, gestured for them to wait. The High Council is deliberating your entry protocol. Ambassador Reed, no human, has ever stood in these halls, so Olivia nodded, maintaining her composure despite the butterflies in her stomach. 6 months ago, humans had been unaware of alien life now. They stood at the heart of galactic civilization about to determine humanity's place among the stars behind her general. Marcus clenched his jaw. "This is a mistake," he whispered. "We should be showing strength, not begging for a seat at their table." Olivia kept her eyes forward. "We are not begging, Marcus. We are introducing ourselves. As equals, as we discussed, strength takes many forms." The massive doors began to part silently, despite their enormous weight, revealing a chamber so vast it seemed impossible. A vast amphitheater stretched before them with rising tiers, holding representatives of hundreds of species, some humanoid, others defying description. Entirely at the center, a raised platform housed 9 beings, the High Counselors themselves. The escort's voice lowered. "You will approach the center. Mark, speak only when addressed, and make no sudden movements. The Council has agreed to hear Earth's petition, but many members voted against even allowing you entry." Olivia straightened her formal blue uniform, adorned only with a single pin, representing Earth, a simple blue and green sphere. No words were needed to identify her world. The final frontier humanity had crossed was not space but recognition. The human delegation walked forward, footsteps echoing in the sudden silence. Olivia felt every eye in the chamber watching, analyzing, judging these first human representatives. She could sense curiosity, fear, and hostility in equal measure. They reached the center mark, a circular platform illuminated from below, with a soft white light directly facing the 9 High Counselors' beings, a vastly different appearance united by their ancient authority over galactic affairs. The central counselor, a tall, willowy being with skin like polished silver, spoke its voice, somehow reaching every corner of the vast chamber without seeming to raise it. "The Earth delegation is recognized. You stand before the assembled representatives of the Galactic Alliance, a body that has maintained peace and order for 12,000 cycles." Olivia bowed her head slightly in respect and honor. "We, never expected but have long dreamed of among the stars." A murmur rippled through the chamber at her words. The Silver Counselor's head tilted, unusual phrasing. "You dreamed of us before knowing we existed." Olivia smiled slightly. "Humanity has imagined meeting other intelligent life for centuries in our fiction, our science, our philosophy. We have prepared for this moment in our hearts long before our technology made it possible." Another counselor, this one appearing like a massive insectoid with compound eyes that reflected the chamber and hundreds of tiny images, leaned forward. "Your species' rapid advancement concerns many. Here you developed from primitive flight to rudimentary space travel in less than 2 centuries, an unprecedented pace." Before Olivia could respond, a third counselor spoke, its body obscured by a shimmering field of energy. "And more concerning, you developed atomic weapons before achieving unified planetary governance, a dangerous sequence." Olivia had anticipated this line of questioning. "Humans are passionate and impulsive counselors. We advance quickly because we dream boldly, sometimes unwisely, but we learn from our mistakes." General Marcus stepped forward slightly as planned, his military bearing drawing. "Attention, we've fought our wars, made our errors, and faced our demons. We come before you not as perfect beings but as a species that chooses to be better tomorrow than we were yesterday." The Silver Counselor's expression remained unreadable. "How convenient that you present such wisdom now that you have discovered you are not alone in the universe." Olivia met the counselor's gaze. "We discovered your observation post in our asteroid belt 3 years ago. Counselor, we've known we weren't alone, much longer than you realize." A shocked silence fell over the chamber. The insectoid counselor's mandibles clicked rapidly. "Impossible, our protocol." Olivia raised her hand slightly, and the diplomatic attaché beside her activated a small holographic projector revealing detailed scans and images of a well-hidden facility. Our deep space probes detected energy signatures we couldn't explain. We investigated discreetly without alerting your observers. The Silver Counselor looked to the side where a group of officials were frantically consulting their data devices. Is this accurate? Tall reptilian being nodded reluctantly. It appears so high. Counselor Olivia continued. We could have exposed your presence created panic, demanded answers instead. We prepared quietly, studying improving our diplomatic protocols, developing first contact procedures. We wanted to be ready to meet you as partners, not as subjects. The energy field counselor flickered intensely. You monitored those who monitored you without their knowledge. This indicates concerning capabilities. The general smiled slightly. It indicates the capability to join your council as equals, not as primitives to be observed and judged. A fourth counselor, a being seemingly made of interlocking, crystalline structures, spoke for the first time. You come armed with knowledge we did not expect and a boldness typical of young species. What exactly does Earth seek from this council? Olivia stepped forward, hands open in a universal gesture of peaceful intent. We seek recognition, trade, cultural exchange, and the opportunity to contribute our unique perspective to galactic affairs. We do not come empty-handed. She nodded to the scientific officer who activated another hologram displaying complex molecular structures. We offer advances in medicine, specifically regenerative therapies we've developed that appear to function across multiple biological systems. The council members leaned forward, examining the data with newfound interest. The Silver Counselor spoke after a moment. Your species presents a puzzle, Ambassador Reed. Your technology lags centuries behind many council members, yet you offer innovations some of our oldest members have not achieved. Olivia nodded. Humanity excels at finding unusual solutions to problems others consider unsolvable. It's our greatest strength. The insectoid counselor clicked a question. Are you implying the council has grown complacent? General. Marcus answered with surprising diplomacy. With respect, Counselor, we suggest only that different evolutionary paths lead to different strengths. Earth hopes to contribute ours while learning from yours. The Silver Counselor conferred quietly with the others before addressing the entire chamber. The petition of Earth will require further deliberation. You will be provided accommodations while the Council considers your unusual introduction to galactic affairs. As they were escorted from the chamber, Olivia finally allowed herself a small smile of satisfaction. They had made their impression, now the real work would begin. Back in their assigned quarters, a spacious but clearly alien suite, the General finally relaxed. This was a gamble. Olivia, you essentially told the most powerful beings in the galaxy that we've been spying on them. Olivia looked out at the spectacular view of the Council capital, a vast city stretching beyond the horizon with ships of impossible design, moving between structures that defied Earth architecture. We didn't just tell them, Marcus, we showed them. We're not easily intimidated, we're not awed into submission, and most importantly, we're not primitive. We're different. That's our edge. The diplomatic attaché Lisa joined them. That was just the opening move, though. What's our plan for tomorrow when they start asking the harder questions? Olivia turned from the window, her eyes bright with determination. Tomorrow we show them why humanity deserves not just a seat at their table, but a voice in their decisions. This isn't about power. It's about perspective, and ours is unique enough to matter. Beyond the window, the lights of countless alien worlds twinkled like the dreams that had brought humanity to the stars. The council chamber seemed even larger on the second day, as Olivia and her team were escorted to their position at the center. Mark. The air felt electric, with tension. Thousands of alien eyes tracking their every movement. The human delegation had become the most discussed topic in galactic politics overnight. Olivia had slept little. Preparing for this crucial second appearance, she knew many counselors had spent the night cycle reviewing Earth's history and capabilities, trying to determine if humans were a threat, an opportunity, or something else entirely. The Silver Counselor's voice carried through the chamber without visible amplification. The delegation from Earth returns for continued assessment. We have reviewed your initial presentation and find ourselves with more questions than answers. Olivia bowed slightly. We expected nothing less. Counselor, questions are the foundation of understanding. A new counselor leaned forward, one who had remained silent during the previous session. This One appeared almost gaseous, contained within a transparent shell. Ambassador Reed, your species has a troubling history of conflict, division, and environmental mismanagement. Why should the Council believe humans are ready for galactic citizenship? Instead of answering immediately, Olivia turned slowly, looking at the gathered representatives from hundreds of worlds. Did any species represented here achieve space travel before resolving all internal conflicts, before making ecological mistakes? Before learning hard lessons about their own nature? Murmurs rippled through the chamber as representatives shifted uncomfortably. She continued, "Perfection is not the price of admission to this council. Growth is. We offer our history, both triumphant and troubling, as evidence of our capacity to learn, to adapt, and to improve." The insectoid counselor's mandibles clicked rapidly. "You speak well for a species so young, but words are easily crafted. Actions reveal truth." "What actions demonstrate humanity's readiness?" General Marcus stepped forward as planned, bringing up a holographic display with his datapad showing Earth's rapidly declining nuclear arsenal. "Our nations have reduced weapons of mass destruction by 87% in the past 50 years. We've established the Unified Earth Defense Force, combining military resources to protect our planet, not threaten others." The energy field counselor pulsed skeptically. "Unified defense against whom? You did not know of external threats until recently, Lysa." The diplomatic attaché smiled. "We unified against our own worst impulses, counselor, recognizing that division was a luxury we could no longer afford." Olivia nodded. "We've begun the work of planetary governance, establishing the Earth Coordination Council with representation from all nations. We don't claim to have achieved perfect harmony, but we are committed to the journey." The crystalline counselor's facets caught the light as it spoke. "An interesting assertion, but incomplete. Our intelligence suggests your world still struggles with resource distribution, environmental restoration, and cultural integration." Gunnar Allen Brooks, the scientific officer, spoke up for the first time, his deep voice calm and measured. "We've reduced global poverty by 60% in one generation, counselor. Our renewable energy transition is 80% complete, and our oceans are showing measurable recovery from centuries of damage. We do not deny the challenges, but we can demonstrate meaningful progress." A new voice spoke from the upper tiers, a representative rather than a high counselor, its form serpentine with feathered crests. "Humans speak of progress while concealing their true nature. I have studied their history. They are conquerors by instinct, predators who dominate their own kind. How can such beings be trusted?" A hush fell over the chamber as all eyes turned to Olivia. She stepped forward, meeting the accusation directly. "Yes, we have predator origins. Like many species here, we have fought wars, conquered territories, and harmed one another. But evolution isn't destiny. Choice is. We choose cooperation over conflict whenever possible. Not because it is easy, but because we have learned it is better." The silver counselor raised a hand, silencing the chamber. "What do humans truly seek from the galactic community?" "Be precise, Ambassador." Olivia took a deep breath. "Exchange, counselor, not assimilation. We seek to trade not just goods but ideas, art, philosophy, and science. We believe diversity strengthens. All inconformity weakens even the most well-intended systems." The gaseous counselor's shell vibrated with what might have been laughter. A diplomatic answer, avoiding the central question. "Do humans seek power within the council?" "General," Marcus answered, with surprising candor. "Eventually. Yes, as we earn it through contribution and trust, not through force or manipulation." Olivia elaborated. "We seek what all sentient beings desire: safety, progress, understanding, and the opportunity to reach our potential within a community of equals." The crystalline counselor's voice resonated like chimes, an admirable sentiment. "Yet your species remains an unknown quantity, one with troubling capabilities despite technological limitations." Gar Brooks activated another hologram showing complex mathematical equations. "We've developed theoretical models for faster-than-light communication that our engineers cannot yet build, but that our mathematicians can prove. This is the human paradox. Our imagination often exceeds our capability." The silver counselor leaned forward, examining the equations with evident interest. "You offer theories you cannot implement. What purpose does this serve?" Olivia smiled. "We offer partnership, counselor. Our ideas combined with your technology Our fresh perspective with your ancient wisdom, we believe the combination will benefit all, the energy field counselor pulsed skeptically. Or benefit humans disproportionately. Lisa stepped forward, holding up a small device. This contains Earth's complete historical and cultural database, unedited, including our darkest moments and greatest triumphs. We offer complete transparency, hiding neither our flaws nor our virtues. She placed it on the center mark where it projected a swirling galaxy of information, accessible to all present. Olivia spoke into the silence that followed. We do not ask you to trust us based on words alone, but on demonstrated openness. We will answer any question, reveal any aspect of our civilization, because we have nothing to hide and much to gain from honest exchange. The council chamber erupted in conversation as representatives began accessing and reviewing the database, speaking urgently with one another about what they discovered. The silver counselor raised both hands, calling for order. This unexpected gesture requires evaluation. The council will recess for deliberation. The Earth delegation will remain available for questioning. As the counselors withdrew, Olivia exchanged glances with her team. The gamble had been made. Now they could only wait. Hours passed as different representatives approached, asking questions about Earth history, human biology, social structures, and technological capabilities. The team answered honestly, even when the truth was unflattering. Finally, the council reconvened, the high counselors taking their positions with formal precision. The silver counselor spoke, the voice of the Galactic Council. The Earth delegation has presented us with an unprecedented approach to first contact proceedings, defying protocols established over millennia, yet demonstrating principles we ourselves claim to uphold. Olivia held her breath as the counselor continued. Transparency, courage, adaptation, and innovation. These qualities have merit. The Council acknowledges, however, questions remain regarding humanity's readiness for full participation in galactic affairs. Therefore, we propose an intermediate status observation with exchange-limited technology transfer under supervision and cultural integration programs to prepare humanity for potential future membership. General Marcus stepped forward before Olivia could respond. With respect, High Counselor, that is not acceptable. Gasps echoed through the chamber at this directness. Marcus continued, Earth does not seek adoption. We seek alliance. We will not accept technological handouts that create dependency, nor supervision that implies inferiority. We propose instead mutual observation, exchange programs on equal footing and open cultural contact. The insectoid counselor clicked angrily. You reject the council's generous offer. Olivia stepped forward. We respectfully propose an alternative that honors both our independence and your legitimate concerns about a new species entering galactic society. We seek partnership, not patronage. The silver counselor's eyes narrowed. Explain this distinction, Ambassador. Olivia gestured to the still active database visible to all. We have shown you who we are, both admirable and troubling. We ask for the same honesty in return before we determine our place among you. Beyond the massive windows of the council chamber, distant stars twinkled with possibility as humanity made its stand, not as supplicants but as equals, challenging the very foundation of how the galaxy had operated for 12,000 years. The silence that followed Olivia's bold proposal stretched uncomfortably long. The entire council chamber frozen in a moment of collective shock. No species in recorded galactic history had ever rejected the council's terms for integration. Not even the proudest warrior civilizations. The silver counselor's normally impassive face showed the first hint of genuine emotion. Surprise, perhaps, or something deeper. Ambassador Reed, your proposal borders on impertinence. The council does not negotiate entry protocols. Olivia stood firm, her voice steady. We are not attempting to dictate terms. High Counselor, merely suggesting that true partnership begins with mutual respect. General Marcus added his voice. We understand your concerns about integrating a new species, especially one with our particular history. But condescension disguised as guidance serves neither of us. The energy field counselor pulsed rapidly with what seemed like agitation. You misunderstand. The council does not offer patronage, but protection. The galaxy contains threats you cannot comprehend. There are reasons for our protocols. Brooke stepped forward. If these threats are so significant, shouldn't we be fully informed rather than sheltered from them? Knowledge, not ignorance, prepares us to face challenges. The gaseous counselor's containment shell vibrated. The human delegation makes an interesting point. High Counselor, perhaps our traditional approach requires reconsideration. Murmurs spread through the chamber as representatives from hundreds of worlds debated among themselves, some clearly offended by human boldness, others intrigued by this unprecedented challenge to tradition. The crystalline counselor's voice rang like chimes. I remind the council that other species have raised similar concerns in the past about our integration protocols, though none so directly. We have dismissed these concerns as naive. Now we must consider whether it is our own perspective that has calcified. The Silver Counselor raised a hand, silencing the chamber. What exactly do humans propose as an alternative to our established protocol? Solivia activated her own data device, projecting a new holographic display. We propose the Earth Cooperation Initiative, a 3-phase program of mutual exchange: first, diplomatic missions between Earth and key council worlds; second, scientific cooperation on projects benefiting multiple species; third, cultural exchange programs to build understanding. Lisa elaborated each phase would operate on principles of reciprocity. Equal numbers of humans would travel outward as representatives travel to Earth. Equal information, sharing equal risk and equal benefit. The insectoid counselor clicked thoughtfully, and the supervisory element who would ensure compliance with council standards. General Marcus answered directly. We propose joint oversight committees with equal representation. This isn't about evading responsibility, but sharing it. The Silver Counselor conferred quietly with the other High Counselors before addressing the chamber again. This proposal represents a significant deviation from established protocols. The Council requires time to evaluate its implications and potential consequences. The delegation from Earth will withdraw. While we deliberate as they were escorted from the chamber, Olivia could feel the weight of thousands of alien gazes following them. Some hostile, others curious, but all intensely focused on these humans who dared challenge the galactic order in their assigned quarters. The team finally relaxed slightly. General Marcus poured himself a drink from their Earth supplies that was either brilliant or the end of our chances. There's no middle ground. Lisa studied data flowing across her pad. Reactions are mixed. Marcus, about 40% of council representatives appear outraged, 30% intrigued, and the rest calculating political advantages. The traditional powers are most resistant, while younger civilizations seem more supportive. Brooks looked up from his own analysis. It's fascinating, really. We've inadvertently exposed a fault line in council politics between established powers and emerging one. Solivia stared out at the alien cityscape. We didn't just ask for a seat at their table, we questioned how the table is arranged. That's far more threatening to the established order. Their alien escort, a being named Vexor, entered the chamber. Your approach was unexpected. Humans, the council rarely faces such direct challenges. Olivia turned to the four-armed, purple-skinned being. Is that an observation or a criticism? Vexor, the alien, made a gesture Olivia had learned, indicated amusement. Neither. Perhaps a warning. The council has maintained galactic stability for 12,000 cycles through strict adherence to established protocols. You ask them to change not just for Earth, but potentially for all future species. General Marcus frowned. Is stability so fragile it cannot withstand honest questions? Vexor's 4 eyes blinked. In sequence, the most stable structures are those that can bend without breaking. Ambassador Reed's proposal may offer the council an opportunity to evolve. Not all see this as threatening. Before they could respond, an alert sounded and Vexor checked. A device on one wrist. The council has reached a preliminary decision. You are summoned immediately. The walk back to the chamber felt longer. This time the corridors seemed to stretch endlessly before them. Olivia used the time to center herself, remembering Earth, the green forests and blue oceans, the crowded cities and quiet villages, the 7 billion lives depending on the decisions made here. The council chamber had changed subtly, the lighting more focused, the representatives arranged differently, with clear divisions now visible between different factions. The Silver Counselor addressed them without preamble. The council has deliberated on Earth's unprecedented proposal. After considerable debate, we have reached a consensus. Olivia braced herself for rejection. The counselor continued. The Earth Cooperation Initiative presents both opportunities and concerns. While we cannot fully abandon protocols that have maintained peace for millennia, we recognize that evolution is necessary for any system. To remain relevant, the Energy Field Counselor pulsed. Therefore, we propose a modified approach, a provisional acceptance of your initiative as a test case to be evaluated after one standard cycle. If successful, it may inform future integration protocols for other emerging species. The Insectoid Counselor added with conditions: first, all exchanges must include council observers from neutral species. Second, regular progress reports to the full council. Third, immediate suspension if security concerns. Olivia looked to her team, seeing cautious optimism in their eyes. These terms honor the spirit of our proposal. High Counselor's Earth accepts these conditions. The Crystalline Counselor chimed one additional element: Ambassador Reed as the architect of this initiative, you will serve as Earth's first official representative to the Council, with all responsibilities that entail. Olivia bowed slightly. I accept this honor and responsibility. The Silver Counselor stood formally, activating a ceremonial light that bathed the human delegation in soft blue illumination. Then let it be recorded in the archives of the Galactic Council that Earth has been granted provisional status under the newly established Cooperation Initiative Protocol. May this mark the beginning of a productive relationship between humanity and the galactic community. As the formal pronouncement echoed through the chamber, Olivia felt the weight of history on her shoulders. This wasn't just a diplomatic victory. It was a fundamental shift in how humanity would engage with the cosmos, not as junior partners but as contributors with their own voice later. As the team celebrated quietly in their quarters, Lisa raised her glass to Olivia. Who would have thought our greatest strength would be questioning the very process of first contact? General Marcus nodded reluctantly. I still have concerns, but I'll admit this approach gives us more dignity than the alternative. Brooks was already deep in planning potential. Scientific exchanges will need to prepare our research institutions for visitors with entirely different conceptual frameworks. Olivia looked at her team with pride. We've opened the door. Now we have to prove our approach works not just for us, but for the Council as well. The real work is just beginning. Beyond their windows, the vast alien city glittered with countless lights, while above them the stars represented not just distant suns, but civilizations. Humanity would now begin to truly know for the first time Earth had found its voice among the stars. 3 months after Earth's provisional acceptance into the galactic community, Olivia stood before a holographic display in her new permanent office at the Council headquarters, reviewing reports from exchange programs already underway across 17 worlds. Her diplomatic victory had opened doors but also created expectations that humanity now struggled to fulfill. Vexer, her assigned liaison, entered the office carrying a data crystal. Ambassador Reed, the Council requests your presence at the emergency session this afternoon. Olivia looked up with concern. Emergency session regarding what exactly? Vexer's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. A border dispute between the Norvian Empire and the Trell Collective has escalated to military mobilization. The Council seeks Earth's perspective as a neutral party. Olivia frowned. The Norvian-Trell conflict had been simmering for centuries over resource rights in a contested star system. Why would they want Earth's opinion on an ancient dispute we have no history with either civilization? Vexer made the gesture she now recognized as thoughtful consideration. Perhaps that is precisely why, Ambassador, your species offers a perspective unclouded by historical alliance or prejudice. The High Counselors specifically requested your attendance. After Vexer departed, Olivia called an urgent meeting with her expanded team, now including specialists in various aspects of galactic politics. Brooks projected the disputed star system in the center of the room. Both the Norvians and the Trell have legitimate claims based on historical exploration patterns. But the real issue is the recent discovery of quantum resonance crystals in the system's asteroid belt. These crystals are crucial components in advanced FTL communications. Lisa scrolled through diplomatic archives. The conflict predates the crystal discovery by at least 2,000 years, but the economic stakes have escalated tensions dramatically. Professor Elena Martinez, the newly appointed cultural anthropologist, studied the holographic representations of both species. The Norvians evolved from pack hunters, while the Trell have hive origins. Their fundamental approaches to territory and resources are almost diametrically Opposed General Marcus, now heading Earth's security cooperation programs, frowned. This isn't about resources or territory. It's about power. The Norvian Empire is in decline, while the Trell Collective is ascendant. This conflict is really about establishing dominance. Olivia absorbed their insights. What troubles me is why the Council wants our input. Are they testing us? Setting us up to alienate one faction or the other? Or is there something else at play? Alina suggested perhaps they genuinely value our perspective. Humans have demonstrated unusual approaches to conflict resolution in our history. Creative compromises that older civilizations might not consider. With limited time to prepare, Olivia and her team developed a preliminary position. Before heading to the emergency session, the council chamber had been reconfigured for the smaller gathering, with only the high counselors and representatives from major powers present. The Silver Counselor acknowledged Olivia as she entered. Ambassador Reed, we appreciate Earth's participation in this sensitive matter. The Council finds itself at an impasse regarding the Norvian Trell dispute. The Norvian representative, a tall avian being with iridescent feathers, spoke with barely contained anger. The Trell have violated the demarcation zone established by Council Decree 16 times in the past cycle. Their mining operations encroach on territories traditionally recognized as Norvian. The Trell representative, a collective of 5 interconnected insectoid beings, responded as one. The demarcation was established when the Norvians wielded disproportionate influence in council affairs. It disregards Trell historical presence in the Chava system. The crystals benefit all, not just the declining Norvian house. Olivia listened carefully, noting the body language and rhetorical patterns of both representatives. Beneath the specific grievances lay deeper issues of pride, history, and fear. The Silver Counselor turned to her. The Council has reviewed traditional arbitration approaches without success. Ambassador Reed, would Earth like to offer a perspective? Olivia stood, feeling the weight of all eyes upon her. Earth is still learning the complexities of galactic politics, but perhaps our fresh perspective might be useful in this matter. Both the Norvian Empire and the Trell Collective have legitimate historical claims to the Chava system, and both would be capable stewards of its resources. She activated her data device, projecting a modified map of the disputed system. We propose neither traditional territorial division nor forced cooperation, but a new model we call specialized stewardship. The chamber grew quiet as she continued. Under this approach, the Norvians, with their advanced environmental engineering, would manage the system's biosphere, including the habitable moon and its unique ecosystem, while the Trell, with their expertise in precision extraction, would manage resource development. Both parties would establish permanent facilities in the system operating independently, but with council oversight. Neither would have territorial sovereignty, but both would have functional authority in their areas of expertise, with revenue sharing proportional to investment and historical claims. The Norvian representative's feathers flattened. This proposal strips us of our rightful territory. The Trell Collective vibrated with apparent agitation. It constrains our developmental autonomy. Olivia nodded precisely. It requires both parties to sacrifice something. Neither wants to sacrifice territorial pride, but it allows both to contribute what they do best to the benefit of all, including yourselves. This isn't about territory. It's about function, about creating value rather than simply claiming it. The Energy Field Counselor pulsed an interesting approach. Ambassador Reed. But how would conflicts between environmental preservation and resource extraction be resolved? Olivia had anticipated this question. We propose a 3-part governance system. First, technical disputes would be resolved by independent expert panels. Second, policy conflicts by a management council with equal representation. And third, fundamental disagreements by council arbitration. This creates multiple opportunities for resolution before escalation. The room fell silent as the implications became clear. This wasn't merely a proposal for resolving one dispute, but a potential model for addressing similar conflicts throughout the galaxy. The Silver Counselor broke the silence. This approach merits consideration. The Council will recess while the Norvian and Trell representatives consult with their governments regarding Earth's proposal. As representatives filed out, many gave Olivia curious glances, some approving, others wary. She had introduced something new into the careful balance of galactic politics. Vexor approached as the chamber emptied an innovative solution. Ambassador, though not without risk, you have challenged fundamental assumptions about territorial sovereignty. Olivia nodded. We're not bound by 12,000 years of precedent. Vexor, sometimes that's an advantage. Back in her office, her team awaited debriefing. General Marcus frowned when she explained the proposal. You've potentially alienated both parties, Olivia. They both wanted territory and you gave them jobs instead. Alina shook her head no. What she gave them was purpose and recognition. The Norvians pride themselves on environmental stewardship while the Trell value efficiency and technical precision. This approach acknowledges the strengths of both cultures. Brooks nodded, analyzing the data. We've shifted the conversation from who owns the system to how the system should be managed. It's a fundamentally different framework. Lysa looked concerned. Do you think they'll accept it? Olivia shrugged. That's secondary to our real accomplishment. We've demonstrated Earth's approach to galactic problems. We don't simply adopt existing paradigms. We question them. Hours later, Vexor returned with news the Norvian Empire and the Trell Collective have both conditionally accepted Earth's proposal with modifications. The Council is impressed, Ambassador. Though some members are concerned about the precedent this creates, Olivia smiled. It creates a precedent for creative solutions rather than rigid adherence to tradition. I can live with that concern. Vexor's forearms made a complex gesture. I must inform you that your approach has attracted attention from multiple quarters, some positive, some decidedly not the traditionalist faction. Sees this as human interference in established protocols. Olivia nodded, understanding the implications. We didn't come to the stars to simply follow paths. Others have laid Vexor. We came to forge our own while respecting those who came before us as night fell over the council city. Olivia stood at her window watching ships from 100 worlds moving through the darkening sky humanity had earned. Its first real diplomatic victory, not through power or technology, but through perspective, offering something new to a very old community. She knew challenges lay ahead. Resistance to change was universal, but today Earth had proven its value not just as another voice among many, but as a different kind of voice, one that might help a 12,000-year-old civilization see with fresh eyes. 1 year to the day after humanity's first appearance before the Galactic Council, Olivia stood at the center of the Grand Assembly Chamber before representatives of over 3,000 worlds. This time not as a petitioner, but as Earth's official ambassador, her team flanking her as she prepared to deliver her assessment of the Earth Cooperation Initiative's first year. The chamber hummed with anticipation. This was no ordinary report, but a crucial moment that would determine humanity's future status within the galactic community. The provisional period was ending and the Council would vote on Earth's permanent position. The Silver Counselor's voice carried throughout the vast space. Ambassador Reed, you stand before us to present Earth's case for full recognition. Address the Assembly. Olivia nodded, looking around at the gathered representatives, some now familiar allies, others still wary opponents, and many watching with neutral curiosity. When Earth first came before this council, we proposed a different approach to galactic integration, based on mutual exchange rather than supervised assimilation. Today I will present the outcomes of that approach, both successes and failures. She activated the central holographic system, displaying a galaxy map highlighting the 17 worlds where exchange programs had been established. On the agrarian world of Valak's human agricultural scientists worked alongside local experts to develop drought-resistant crops, adapting Earth techniques. To alien biology on Kanar, our medical researchers collaborated with the planet's renowned biochemists, creating new treatments for degenerative neural conditions that affect multiple species. Each illuminated world represented a different program, a different partnership, a different opportunity for mutual benefit. Olivia continued. These exchanges have produced measurable benefits that I've detailed in my formal report, but numbers tell only part of the story. The true measure of our initiative lies in the relationships formed, the trust built, and the perspectives shared. She displayed images of humans and aliens working together, studying together, even celebrating together across cultural divides. Professor Elena stepped forward to present the cultural aspects of the initiative. The learning has not been one-directional. Earth has gained as much as we have shared exposure to galactic philosophies. Art and sciences has sparked a renaissance in human creativity. Our universities have established new fields of study. Our artists have found new forms of expression, and our philosophers have found new questions to explore. Dr. Brooks presented the scientific outcomes. Our technological development has accelerated, but in a controlled, sustainable manner guided by ethical frameworks developed through cross-species dialogue. We haven't simply adopted alien technology, we've integrated it thoughtfully, ensuring compatibility with human needs and values. Lisa outlined the diplomatic progress. 17 formal treaties established new economic, scientific, and cultural partnerships. The number of Earth representatives in galactic institutions had grown from 5 to over 300, and human diplomatic approaches had helped resolve 3 long-standing conflicts, including the Norvian-Trell dispute. General Marcus surprisingly spoke about security cooperation. Earth's Defense Force had participated in joint exercises with Council peacekeepers, sharing human tactical flexibility. While learning disciplined coordination from more experienced species, humanity stands ready to contribute to galactic security not as conquerors, but as partners in maintaining peace. Olivia resumed center position. These achievements represent just the beginning of what cooperation can accomplish. However, I would be dishonest if I didn't acknowledge our failures as well. The chamber grew particularly quiet as she continued. We underestimated cultural barriers in 3 exchange programs, resulting in misunderstandings that required council mediation. We experienced technology integration failures that delayed 2 joint projects. And most seriously, we discovered attempts by certain Earth factions to acquire restricted technologies outside. Approved channels. Murmurs spread through the chamber at this admission. Olivia raised her hand. I present these failures not to diminish our achievements but to demonstrate our commitment to transparency and accountability. In each case, Earth took immediate corrective action, implemented new safeguards, and accepted full responsibility. These failures taught us as much as our successes. The Silver Counselor's expression remained unreadable. You present a complex picture, Ambassador Reed, but the question before the Council is simple. Has the Earth Cooperation Initiative proven itself as a model for integration? Olivia took a deep breath. High Counselor, I believe it has, not because it was flawless, but because it was honest. Not because it avoided challenges, but because it faced them directly. The initiative demonstrated that integration need not mean assimilation, that new species can contribute to galactic civilization without surrendering their unique perspective. The crystalline Counselor chimed. We have observed that many established council members have begun adopting elements of the Earth model in their diplomatic approaches. An unexpected outcome. The gaseous counselor's shell vibrated. Yet concerns remain about Earth's readiness for full council participation. Your species remains divided. Your planetary governance is still evolving, and your technological development is uneven. Livia nodded. These observations are accurate. Counselor, Earth is not perfect. We are still growing, still learning, still becoming. But I would suggest that this ongoing evolution is precisely why our perspective has value to the Council. We bring the energy of a species in transformation, not the certainty of one that has completed its journey. The insectoid counselor clicked thoughtfully. The traditional requirement for council membership has been stability, Ambassador Reed. You offer instead adaptability, an interesting substitution. Vexor, now serving as protocol officer, stepped forward. The council will now vote on Earth's status. Representatives will indicate their position through the consensus system. The chamber dimmed as thousands of representatives registered their votes. The massive holographic display above showing real-time results, planets lighting up in different colors to indicate their positions. Olivia and her team watched in tense silence as the galaxy above them gradually illuminated green for approval, yellow for conditional support, red for rejection. The balance shifted moment by moment as major powers and their allies aligned. After several minutes, the final tally appeared. The Silver Counselor stood. The Council has reached a decision. Earth's application for full recognition is approved with conditions by a margin of 63%. A significant, though not overwhelming, endorsement. Olivia felt a wave of relief mixed with determination. They had succeeded, but with clear reservations to overcome. The conditions are as follows. First, Earth must complete planetary unification of its governance systems within 5 standard cycles. Second, the cooperation initiative will continue with expanded oversight. Third Earth representatives will serve probationary periods in all council institutions. The energy field counselor pulsed. These are not punitive restrictions, Ambassador Reed, but recognition that your species' journey is ongoing. The Council acknowledges Earth's potential while providing structure for its continued growth. Olivia bowed deeply. The people of Earth accept these conditions with gratitude and determination. We will continue to earn the trust you have placed in us today. As the formal session concluded, representatives from dozens of worlds approached offering congratulations, forming new connections, establishing new relationships. Earth was no longer an outsider but a recognized member of the galactic community. In the privacy of their offices, the Earth team finally celebrated. General Marcus raised his glass. Who would have thought that admitting our imperfections would be the key to our acceptance? Elena smiled. It wasn't just honesty, Marcus. It was vulnerability. The willingness to be seen as we truly are, not as we wish to be perceived, that earned respect. Dr. Brooks nodded, analyzing the voting data. Interesting, the youngest council species were our strongest supporters, while the oldest were most resistant, with significant exceptions. On both sides, Lisa was already reviewing the conditions Earth will need to accelerate its planetary governance integration to meet the 5-cycle deadline. That means bringing the remaining independent nations fully into the Earth Coordination Council. Olivia looked out at the council capital city, now familiar. After a year of residence, we've only just begun. The real work lies ahead. Not just meeting these conditions, but proving that humanity truly belongs among the stars, not as conquerors, not as students, but as partners. Vexer entered, bringing formal documentation of Earth's new status. Ambassador Reed, the High Council requests your presence tomorrow to begin discussions about Earth's role in the Euralis sector negotiations. Olivia smiled. Already putting us to work. Vexer, the four-armed, being made. The gesture she now recognized as respect. The Council values Earth's perspective, particularly in situations requiring fresh approaches. The Euralis sector has resisted traditional diplomatic solutions for 700 cycles. After Vexer departed, Olivia gathered her team. Our success today isn't an endpoint, it's a beginning. Earth now has a voice in galactic affairs. But having a voice means little if we have nothing meaningful to say. General Marcus nodded soberly. The Council is watching us closely, Olivia. There are still many who doubt our readiness, who fear human unpredictability.